Hey everyone, it's Mike. I'm back. I was away for a little while, just wasn't really feeling very inspired to make videos there for a while, and just kind of in a funk. And I haven't been buying as many records as I usually do, so didn't really have a lot to show, but it's been a little bit, and I've got a little stack of records that I've collected over the past few months, so I thought I'd come on and share that with you. First off, let's see, I celebrated an anniversary with my girlfriend. We've been together for a year now, just over a year. And in light of that, I want to kind of go through all the albums that I have that have experienced an anniversary here recently. Uh, they show up all the time on my Facebook, and I'm like, oh, I've got that, I've got that, I've got that. So I thought I'd like talk about them and just kind of just reminisce on how long it's been since these albums have been out, because it's pretty eye-opening. It just makes me feel really old. First one that celebrated an anniversary recently, the Mazzy Stars. So tonight that I might see. Their second album, it's got Fade Into You, which is probably their most famous song. It's a really solid album. I don't like it as much as their first, She Hangs Brightly, but it's still a great album. And this is now, 29 years old, this album. So Mazzy Stars, So Tonight That I Might See. Next one, I'm kind of going in chronological order, backwards in time. So This Mortal Coil, It'll End in Tears. This is their first album. This is kind of a super group formed by Ivo of the record label 4AD, and it's got members of Cocteau Twins and Dead Can Dance and other bands doing covers mostly. Really great album. One of the reasons why I got into the 4AD bands was based on first hearing this one, and it's 38 years old, this album. So again, This Mortal Coil, It'll End in Tears. Next one, U2, Unforgettable Fire, 1984. So that makes this 38 years old. Great album. I think it's my favorite U2 album. Kind of underrated if you ask me. So U2, happy anniversary. Bauhaus released their cover of Ziggy Stardust 40 years ago. Pretty crazy that it's been 40 years. I don't know. It feels like I've been listening to this for a long, long time, but 40 years still sounds pretty crazy. And I prefer this version to the original. I don't know. I love Bowie, but I think that Bauhaus did a really good job with this cover, and this is 40 years old. Also 40 years old, Police, Ghost in the Machine, which is crazy because this seems like it would be 10 years older than Bauhaus's Ziggy Stardust, but it's not. They came out the same year. So Police's fourth album, probably my favorite Police album, celebrating its anniversary, 40 years. Another Police album, they actually put out like 3 albums in the same month range or whatever, but this is the second one that I have. Zenyatta Mandata, also probably a close tie for my favorite Police album. 42 years this has been out, so happy anniversary. Also, Killing Joke's self-titled first album came out the same year as Zenyatta Mandata. Love this album, easily tied with my favorite Killing Joke albums that they've ever released. So anyway, happy anniversary to all those bands, and happy anniversary to me and my girlfriend Courtney. Let's see, I attended a couple of concerts this past weekend, Sunday night and Monday night. Sunday night I went to see, well, let's do Monday night first. Monday night I went to see Roger Waters and his This Is Not a Drill tour, and it was awesome. I got really good seats, pretty much down low, close to where the stage was, because it was a theater in the round, so the stage was right there in the center of Gila River Arena, or whatever they call it now, Diamond. It's some casino. It's named after some other casino right now out in Glendale, Arizona. And got really good seats this time because I saw Roger a few years ago for the Us and Them tour, and I enjoyed that concert better, but I was further away, so I was glad that I got to be closer. And They played a lot of different songs this time, so I was happy about that it wasn't just a retread of the last tour. And I think my favorite performance was the song Sheep. It just kind of took me by surprise. Always been a cool song, but just the live performance was pretty awesome. And yes, it was very political. That's what everybody says whenever I bring up Roger Waters. Wasn't he political? He's very political. And I don't know. If you align with his politics, you know, it doesn't seem so political to me. I don't know. It just seems like things that need to be said. He had a lot of great points in his visuals that kind of matched with the songs that he was performing, and it was very enjoyable, at least to me. And the graphics and stuff that he showed got a lot of applause for Arizona, for such a seemingly red state. Got a lot of applause about, you know, gun violence and police brutality and all that kind of stuff. So that was pretty surprising. Anyway, so that was an awesome concert. I'm glad I got to see him, and it seems like this might be his last go around. I don't know. He's getting pretty long in the tooth, but he sounded great. He doesn't seem to be suffering too much from this vocal issue that a lot of performers in their late ages are having problems with on their tours. I think Roger sounded fine, and I don't know. I thought it was really, really a nice concert. The concert that I saw the night before was this band Metric. They are out of Canada, and this is the third time I've seen them, and they're a great band. And it's really weird that every time I bring up Metric to people, they don't know who I'm talking about. It just seems strange to me, because to me they're just, I don't know, they keep putting out new music and their albums get better and better, and I don't know why people haven't really caught on to them. I don't think I've ever seen them mentioned on a VC video ever, except on my videos. But anyway, they're a fantastic band led by a female singer, Emily Haynes, and it's really kind of upbeat, kind of electronic, indie rock kind of music. A lot of stuff that's kind of danceable, but it's just really fun music and really enjoyable stuff. So I got there early, and they had a new album. They have a new album that came out, this Formentera album, and it wasn't out in the stores yet. So I thought, well, I'm not going to order it. I'm just going to wait till the concert and see if they have any copies for sale at the show. And sure enough, they did. And so I picked up a copy of their new album. And the first 25 copies were autographed copies. So I got an autographed copy, which is pretty sweet. It's also a deluxe edition, whatever, fancy. That's the band in the back cover. They did this with the purple vinyl, which they're out of stock. They were sold out on their website for a long time. So I was glad I was able to get something like that. With it, the inner sleeve just has, I think, some lyrics there, and then a little story about the making of the album on the back. So that's really cool. Metric's Formentera, really good album. It's got, I don't know, like 4 or 5 songs that I absolutely love that are like some of my favorite Metric songs on this. And I'm sure it'll grow on me more the more I get to listen to it. But check them out, Metric. Also at their merch table, they were selling some older albums and this one was particularly, I know it's hard to find, especially a decent price. And this was like dirt cheap and brand new, sealed. Synthetica, this is like, the new album is their 8th album. This is their 5th album. And it's got a lot of my favorite songs on this one as well. So I was really happy to pick up a copy of this for cheap and at the show. And I didn't have to pay some crazy amount on Discogs or anything. That's the inner sleeve. And this one's just on black vinyl. So fantastic album, Synthetica, Metric's 5th album. Digging around at my local record store, I have a store kind of nearby called Grace Records, and it's hit or miss with them. They sell a lot of new records, but they also sell some used, and I go through their used bin at least once a week. And every once in a while, you come across something that you never thought you'd see in this little suburb of Phoenix, Arizona. But I picked up a copy of the Revolting Cox's first album, Big Sexy Land. I used to have this when I went off to college, my freshman year in college. I remember getting this and enjoying it. And of course, I sold it way back when, so it was nice to pick up a copy. I believe this is I don't know, it's on Wax Trax Records. I believe this is an original. It came with this little order form for what was on Wax Trax Records back in the day. So a little mail order form that came with it, and then no inner sleeve, and then the record, flimsy black vinyl. I always associate this Revolting Cocks album, I associate it with Ministry's Twitch album, which came out the same year. Because Al Jurgensen from Ministry, he is part of Revolting Cocks, along with Luke Van Acker and Richard 23 from Front 242. And back in 1986, I went to go see Ministry in concert, and Revolting Cocks opened for them. So Al played with the Revolting Cocks in the opening set, and then the headline set was obviously Al and his band for Ministry. So that's it's kind of a twofer for me. Like these two albums kind of go hand in hand. So I was really happy to pick up a copy of the Revolting Cocks to have. Finally, now I can go back and listen to it. Next one, also found at the same record store in the used bin, an original, really nice, clean copy of Dead Can Dance's Ion, which is, I believe, their 5th album. Sounds right. Their 5th album on 4AD Records. Really nice record. I remember listening to this a lot back in college. Just nice to pick up a nice vinyl, nice clean vinyl copy. They also had a copy of Within the Realm of a Dying Sun there at the record store, but it was all beat up. So I already have it, but I have a reissue. I would like to get an original maybe someday, but I'm happy with my reissue, and my reissue's not all beat up. Speaking of Dead Can Dance, I ordered a record through the interwebs off of Amazon, and something happened to me that's happened to people I've seen on the VC. And I've had my share of really crappy packaging from Amazon. They just stick a record in a plastic bag and send it. And, it comes to me all beaten up, and the corners are all dinged and bashed in and everything. And I end up sending it back, and it ends up being all for naught. But I've seen videos where people have ordered from Amazon and they get their record they just slap shipping label on the actual record plastic, the shrink wrap, and then they just send it. And I don't know what they're thinking, like it's going to arrive, pristine. It's insane. And that's what happened. I ordered a copy of Dead Can Dance's Garden of Arcane Delights. It's like an EP plus with a bunch of BBC sessions. I can't see it because of the label here. And of course, it's all dinged up. I paid full price. It wasn't that expensive, but I did pay full price. And I guess I expect if I'm going to pay full price, I'm going to get a new copy, not a banged up used copy. So I'm sending it back. But anyway, this finally happened to me, where they just stuck the label right onto the record and just flopped it on the truck. And I guess cross your fingers, hope for the best. Another happy thing that happened at my local record store, well, this is my copy of Tones on Tail's album Pop, and I had all my import Tones on Tail sleeved, but I did not have this one sleeved. And we had flooding and rain and stuff back when I lived in college in Florida, and the rain seeped through the windowsill and got all the carpet wet by the window, and I had records in a box, just a cardboard box sitting there by the window, and a bunch of my records were all stuck together, and this was one of them. So I've always been keeping an eye out for a new copy of this that's a nice clean copy, and it's hard to find, and they're pretty expensive. I'm not going to pay $60 or $70 on Discogs for when this one plays perfectly fine. It's more of a cosmetic thing. But I did go into my record store, and sure enough, there was a clean copy. Couldn't believe it. Same original pressing and all that. PVC Records, Tones on Tail album Pop. Nice, clean corners, sharp corners. No damage to the artwork or anything like that. So I was really happy to pick this up. So thank you to the used record gods for bestowing that upon me. This will be the last thing that I show. My favorite band is Stereolab, and they released a new, what they call their Switched On series. And the Switched On series for Stereolab is a collection of rarities and B-sides and whatever else they throw together and throw it onto an album. This is Switched On 5, The Pulse of the Early Brain. And it's really awesome. It's got the first 2 sides are their collaboration with Nurse with Wound, and it's got a bunch of B-sides from their Chemical Chords album, and then a bunch of other outtakes. I had most of them already in digital format or on CD or whatever, but it's nice to have everything contained on vinyl here. This I ordered through the band's Bandcamp site, and it took forever. I didn't get this until at least a month after it was in the record stores. So I'm like, why am I ordering it online when I just go to my local record store and give them my money? It's so ridiculous. So this is the last time I'm ever going to pre-order a new release. I'm just going to go to the record store and get it on the day of a release. I guess I thought maybe I'd get it early, you know, like a day or 2 early. Like some people posted on Facebook that they already got their copy and it hasn't been released in the record store. I guess I figure I'm going to be one of those people, one of those lucky people. And it never happens. I always get it very late. So while I was waiting for this forever and enjoying everybody else enjoying their copy of the album online, somebody posted on the Stereolab Facebook page that they got a copy of the blue mirror board version, which is kind of a deluxe numbered version. It's not the super deluxe version that was issued via lottery this time. I didn't get the lottery version, but I didn't even know that this regular mirror board deluxe numbered edition even existed, because it wasn't listed on the Stereolab website and it wasn't listed on their Bandcamp or anything like that. So I didn't know it existed, but this guy posted a picture of it and he's like, yeah, I picked it up at my local Zia Records, and that's one of our local record stores here in Phoenix, is Zia. So I went online and got onto the Zia website, and sure enough, they had this copy on sale. Well, for sale, the blue mirror board, and you can see my whole room when I move it around because it's mirror. But I love this copy. I think it's beautiful. I like the blue better. And did I mention that this when I finally got it, it came with this huge seam split on the top, like huge, gigantic, biggest seam split I think I've ever seen. So anyway, another reason why I was just kind of just disappointed with that experience. So I'm going to keep this blue one and use this and play this one, and I'm just going to sell the yellow one. I don't care what I get for it, as long as I get something for it. I'll just get rid of that one. I also got the CD too, and I'm not going to get up and go get it, but my CD it's a digipack, and it has the same blue mirror surface as this, so that's pretty cool. Eventually I'm going to do a Stereolab video, and I'm going to show all my Stereolab stuff, but for today I'm just showing this new release here, and it's really awesome. Check them out. I don't know if I wouldn't say that this was a starting point for Stereolab to get into them. I would start with Mars Audiac Quintet, or Emperor Tomato Ketchup, or Dots and Loops. I think any one of those 3 would be a good starting point. But for the fans that have been around forever and love to catch all the rarities and all that stuff, this is another great volume 5, Switched On, and it's got some really great gems on this 3 record set. So, this is what it looks like on the inside. It's got the mirror board as well with the art, and then the records all fit inside this little sleeve here. There's 3 records, black vinyl, nothing really to show as far as that goes, and that's what the back looks like. Anywho, that's my records to show for this week. I'm sure I'm forgetting something, and I'll record it on my next video. I'm going to start trying to make these once a week again. But anyway, it was great doing this, and hopefully y'all will watch and subscribe or like or do whatever you'd like to do. I really appreciate hearing from you. Leave comments especially. I love to answer comments from y'all, and tell me what I messed up on, because I'm certain I messed up on something. Anyway, love you guys. Take care, and happy vinyl hunting. See ya.